So this might be the most unpopular opinion, and I'm pretty sure most people will disagree with me considering how much people are anticipating the next book in the Song of Ice and Fire series. Before you do, start typing any angry comments below telling me I'm wrong, at least hear me out first. But I'm going to stick up for George R.R. Martin and say something most people probably won't agree with, and that is that I don't care if he ever writes The Winds of Winter or not. In fact, I encourage him to not do it, in fact. If he's not feeling it, if he's feeling burnt out, if he doesn't know how he's going to end it, if he's written himself into a corner, if he's struggling to wrap up the series, I wouldn't be too upset if we never got an ending. I know it seems like it's been forever, like literally over a decade, and the lackluster ending of the TV series by HBO has people yearning for a better outcome. One thing you have to bear in mind, he hasn't sort of been sitting on his ass the entire time. He has written side stories and prequel content like Fire and Blood, which I know aren't really the same thing, but I wouldn't blame him if he never bothers to finish the series, because I wouldn't. I was him. Like, I would rather we get no ending than him to force an ending that leaves you less satisfied or unable to just live up to fan expectations, which I guarantee will be the case no matter what he wants. I think fans need to be sort of less entitled to someone else's work, because how many times have you started a project and not finished it? How many times have you been burnt out when you got towards the end and you realize you've bitten off more than you can chew? It's a very human thing, but when we put someone on the spotlight, we expect them to not be held to the same standard as everyone else is and expect more of them. In fact, it's a sense of entitlement. We feel entitled to what they're telling as if we deserve some sort of ending, when the truth is we fucking don't. It's not our story. And it's one of the reasons why I don't like engaging with fans of the books, because there is an underlying sense of entitlement to the story to the point where they shit talk him constantly. At that point, you can't even call them fans anymore because they're not even fans of him. Can you really call yourself a fan of an author when you're constantly shitting on him and ridiculing him and making jokes about the fact that he's going to die before he finishes his work? Personally, I support him just putting his feet up and not bothering anymore. Like, dude, you can chill for a bit. No one's gonna care. I say that, people are going to care, but he shouldn't care about those people. I wouldn't be mad if he deliberately left it unfinished, mainly because I found other authors and other books I've enjoyed more. Like, I've discovered Brandon Sanderson and his Stormlight Archive series, which I read through the entire series up until the most recent book in the time that it took for Winds of Winter to even be written, and I was way more satisfied with that series. I've been reading through Terry Pratchett's Discworld, which is a 40-book long series, and each one is fantastic. But there's this cult-like following behind Song of Ice and Fire. I guess any book that becomes somewhat popular to the point where it becomes mainstream and people act like it's the only book in existence. Because you see the same sort of thing in Harry Potter fans and to a certain degree Book Talk fans as well, who absolutely go feral over any romantasy series that happens to be trending at the time. But I'm going to be one of the few people that says, do you know what, George, if you want to chill, that's fine. In fact, I don't think George is ever going to be able to top the writing he did for Elden Ring. For those of you who don't know, he wrote all those little messages you find in that game. So Try-Finger Butthole is probably the best George R.R. Martin quote out there. I don't think he's ever going to write anything better than that, so I wouldn't blame him for wanting to call it a day and just hang up the writing cat and relax. I mean, if I had the level of success he had, I probably even need to finish the series, right? It's still going and like the money's flowing in. He probably doesn't have to lift another finger for the rest of his life. And if the TV series disappoints another generation of fans, fine, the blame's not on him, is it? It's gonna be on the TV showrunners for going off script and not following the source material, as is often the case. But I'm just frustrated with the amount of cult-like behavior I see amongst the fans of a series that I did enjoy, to the point where I now feel bad for the author because of how he gets treated by his fans. I think he deserves better. And he's an amazing writer, but he's still human, right? Let the dude take as long as he needs to. If he never finishes the project, then that's fine as well. We should be ready to accept that and not be shitting our pants over getting another book in a series. That's not even ours. It's his book. It's his story. It's his characters. We aren't entitled to shit. But that's just me ranting about fans of a series that I enjoy and I want to engage in conversation with, but seeing how vile some of the discussion is, like, puts me off wanting to engage with a lot of these fandoms. I mean, they're not as bad as fans of shows like The Boys. Those, I think, are the cesspit when it comes to fandoms, because you get brain-dead morons agreeing with Homelander, thinking he's a protagonist, no matter how directly the showrunner Eric Kripke says, this show is making fun of you and your views. That's a whole other video I can probably do, actually. Thank you for listening to this little rant of mine. If you have any thoughts you'd like to share, please do drop them in the comments below. Yeah, do all the good stuff. Hit all the like and subscribe buttons. Check out some of my other videos. I also live stream if you want to chat with me while I'm streaming. And I'll see you in the next one. Sayonara.